Good morning from the high desert of California. It's going to be a scorcher today, so the first thing I'm going to do is get the car prepped to handle the heat while at camp. This is my campsite right here. It goes all the way back over here. It's really big, which is on purpose because I have family coming to visit or coming to stay here alongside me for a couple of nights. So I parked up right here when I got here yesterday afternoon. But I'm seeing this gets a lot of shade, so I might move my rig back up in this area here. It's still going to get some sun for solar, but I can move solar elsewhere if need be. It's not going to do a ton right now, but it will later as the sun moves. I don't need to make a bunch of power right now, but later on, just to keep the battery charged up after powering the refrigerator and freezer all day, it'll be a good thing to have. Now I have to let you in on the part that's really embarrassing, and that's what's going on back here. Ta-da! What a disaster. Yesterday was resupply day, but it didn't roll into reset day. So I've got to reset this morning because, yeah. So loaded up on extra water in addition to the 2.5 gallons that I have in the Dometic container that with my faucet right here. Just grabbed an extra gallon. I'm finding that I need at least a gallon of water per day at camp this summer, and we've got some things to get through here. I went through major city yesterday, so I stocked up at Target on all of my sort of like hygiene and cleaning products. I need to restock here in the car. So basically all of my wipes and cleaning supplies and stuff live right here. So I'm going to restock all of these. Actually, not this one, but all the other ones because I ran out of everything. Yeah, I kind of ran out of everything all at once. Or maybe I just sort of like, was scraping by till payday. That happens too. So this is where I keep my dish wipes, which are these. They'll eventually fit better as I start using some of them. But then I just twist this back on. You can pull it up through the top of these, but I don't really do that because honestly, I don't think it's any more efficient. Wipes, body wipes, go in there. Sometimes I use like the dude wipes. I also really like these if I happen to go to Target. This is a double pack. It's always good to have one pack on reserve. And shove this in here. And these are what I use to dust off the car, whether it's coated in pollen or dirt or whatever. Toothpaste, sunscreen, other sunscreen, this. These are nighttime, so I'll leave those. Sunscreen goes right here. Next to my hiking bag, sunscreen, there's organization to this. Something else that I've taken to doing, just to help my fridge out a little bit, is I have this little USB fan that I use in the car at night when I'm hanging out, but when I am not in the car, when it's day peak heat, I just put it right down here by where the sort of vent compressor is, whatever it's called, for the refrigerator, just to circulate a little bit of air and help it out. Because what can happen is like hot air can get kind of stuck down here, and then the refrigerator is only pulling in like really hot air, and of course it's super hard for it to have to try to keep up with that. One more thing, which is I put up my window covers with the reflectic side out, and then these are just the bug nets that go over the back, and that's going to keep the car nice and shaded even as the sun moves, at least inside. And it's just looking much better back here. Home sweet home. All right, last step will be for me to set up the shade, and we should be feeling pretty good even as it gets really hot today.
The California sun's got nothing on the way you shine. Sounds kinda dumb coming out of a mouth like mine, but you got the good stuff, 'cause that's what you're made of. I've got a whole life I want you to take up. We had a good run, I wanted the long one. If the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing, why does it feel like I die without you?
By the way, I want to point out that there wasn't even a whisper of a breeze before I set this tent up. And now it's gently wafting in the wind. This is my curse.
If in the next life we'll have a good run, how come you stepped into this one dressed up looking like a dream that made its way to me too soon? At least I've got something to look forward to.
Hi, baby. Sweet baby. What's up? It's been a couple days, but I'm still in the Eastern Sierra of California, and I had a great holiday weekend with my family. Now that the family events have dispersed, people have returned back to their home areas and back to work, it doesn't make sense for me to be camping down in the hot area of the Owens Valley where I was before. So I have moved up to higher elevation. And in fact, that's some of what we did while we were spending time together anyway. Of course, I did have access to their travel trailers, which has air conditioning, which is something I don't have unless I'm running my car. So that helped handle a bit of the heat. But also we did go up to Mammoth for a day, hiked around, had lunch, and were able to kind of escape the heat a little bit like that. Yeah, well, that wind is helping a bit, huh? And feeling those much better temperatures at higher elevation, I knew as soon as the family weekend was over, that's exactly what I was doing. I was gonna head for the hills, because that is really truly what I do most to handle the heat while living in my car, is utilizing the big mountains of the American West to play with elevation going up and down. Obviously, the higher elevation that we're at, the lower the temperature will be. I'm going to be looking for a campsite up closer towards the Mammoth area for tonight. And right now I'm a little bit even north of Mammoth.
in like the June Lake area, and I'm gonna go do a hike. It is still pretty warm. I think it's almost about 80 degrees right now, but this is just a little hike, about 3.5 miles round trip out to Parker Lake. So let's go do that, and then we'll work on finding camp after.
Feels like a daydream. I might escape soon. Get out of focus. Baby, you noticed all along. So elated, so forlorn. You hate to come from.
Hike is complete, and now I'm kind of in the greater Mammoth area, headed to look for a dispersed campsite in the Inyo National Forest.
Who will you become? Somebody to run from. Seek what you can't find. More than you did best could ignore. But at least you still be on. You head to come from.
My quest to find a cooler camp spot has definitely worked out. As you might be able to tell, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, a fleece. Yeah, the breeze is quite cool, and no, I am not complaining. I am very happy about this change. Let the cooler temps prevail. I'm not ready for summer to go, don't get me wrong, but to be able to get cool at the end of the day and sleep someplace with cool temps in the car, that is a big win. I'll take it. Just kind of wandering around the greater camp area, and that sure does look like a grave. Interesting. Just kind of came up on this hill to see if I could see anything, but that's what I found over here. Just a grave. Lots of piles of brush awaiting a control burn, I imagine, but there's already a burn ban in this area, so I don't know what the plan is for that. There's a lot of them, though. It really is pretty quiet here, which is nice. I'm sure this past weekend with the holiday, it was probably popping back here. But it's nice and quiet and peaceful now, so I'll take it. So the time has come to either cook dinner or go to bed hungry tonight. So we're gonna cook dinner. I am actually excited about what I have to cook for dinner tonight, but I'm also working on editing. And it's just like one of those things where I don't want to stop editing, but I have to because I'm not gonna be standing out here in the dark cooking dinner. So I gotta get it done right now. I mentioned earlier in this video that I went into a big city to resupply, and the reason I like to do that is sometimes in those big cities there's just like certain stores, specialty stores, where you just can't get that stuff elsewhere. And one of the places that I went to was Whole Foods. Yes, it is very expensive there, but there are certain things that I can get there that I just can't get anywhere else. And I do have a very particular kind of diet that I'm following right now. So this is one of the things that I've been able to pick up at Whole Foods that I'm sort of really addicted to right now. And this riced cauliflower. They have the Spanish style, and then they also have like a fried rice style, I think. Let me see, please. Yeah, it's called stir fry style. Both of these are so good. Great low carb replacement for rice. I'm also getting vegetables in, and it just really feels like it adds bulk and rounds out my meals. This is exactly the kind of thing why I wanted a freezer, because not only can I hold on to meat for longer, but also veggies and things like this, I can keep them. In the past, there's no way, and maybe could get away with a couple of days in the refrigerator, but now I can keep them frozen, and it makes all the difference, honestly. Little jalapeno chicken sausage right here. Quite delicious. So I'm not actually planning on spending a whole lot of time in California. For those of you that are newer, you may not know or realize that I have over the years spent a lot of time in California. In fact, I used to live in this state full time, and when I first started really getting into hiking and first ever went backpacking, it was here in this state where I really learned to do that. And my family is based here, so that's why I'm back for right now. I do hope to spend some more time here later this year, but as many of you probably know, I also have the large ambition of hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, and many of those miles traverse the state of California. So there's much more of that in the future. Although I'm not staying here, it doesn't mean I don't love it here. It's just my heartstrings are pulling me elsewhere. So I think I have a little bit more exploring to do in this state for this time around, but then back on the road again. for a fried egg. Unfortunately, my non-stick pan is not non-stick anymore. Time for a replacement. Yeah, I've had it a couple years, I guess. The tragic aftermath, I'm just letting it soak immediately, and hopefully I can make it last a little bit longer. But dinner looks delicious, tastes delicious. Oh, and a little Cholula. Oh yeah, baby. As I was flying my drone, it occurred to me that they may have cut down all those trees and put them in piles to burn because of the bark beetle. Those trees may have been invaded by bark beetles, and maybe that's why all that's happening, which is quite sad. But yeah, when I was flying my drone, I saw quite a few dead trees, so that's kind of evidence to the fact. Bon appetit. This is so good. Gotta cook the moisture out of the cauliflower, otherwise it's not as good. And then I throw one egg in with the cauliflower and scramble it in once all the moisture is out. I think that helps dry it out even more. Not a food chemist, but it's working. It's already 8:30. It's getting pretty dark, and this is bear country, so I am feeling eager to get things wrapped up, cleaned up, put away, and me to go in the car. They are black bears. I'm not really afraid of black bears, but the fact that I just prepared food, I don't know, feels like it could be maybe a little confrontational with the right or wrong bear. You know what I mean? As if I didn't already know, I got a distinct reminder in Grand Teton that bears can sneak up on you quite silently. I'm gonna call it a night, and I want to thank you for being here. I do appreciate it so very, very much. You're making this lifestyle possible for me by showing up and watching my videos. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It does really help the channel. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free to do so. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.